Good morning, stamping friends. It's me, Angie, here with Too Cool Stamping and our live class for this week. We do it every Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, so I hope you can join us each week. Remember, if you don't have time to or too busy to catch the live version, you can always catch the replay at toocoolstamping.com. I also have a YouTube channel, and it's just Too Cool Stamping. So check that out for other live class videos. Okay, this week I'm very excited because it's fall, it's officially fall, and we're going to do some fall projects with the Come Together suite. Some beautiful colors. I love this year's fall colors that Stampin' Up! Has put together with Pretty Peacock and Cajun Craze. It's just kind of a fresh and exciting fall color combination. So we're going to work with those this class, and we're going to do 3 different styles of cards. New today, brand new, I'm going to try something a little different. I am going to actually provide a free class kit for the projects that we're making today, and all you need to do is place a $50 order using the host code, and I'll give you that a little bit later. And so this is going to be something I'm just going to try and see if people are interested in getting the actual supplies to make the cards or make the projects. Today it happens to be cards, but sometimes other projects. And if you are interested in getting those supplies, then all you would need to do is place an order with the host code for this week. So we'll make the projects, and I'll remind you of that, and I'll give you the host code that you need to use for that particular class kit. So hopefully you guys will get excited about that. I have no idea, but I thought I'll just try it out. I've had some people who have requested, you know, how can I get, do you have a class? Can I buy a kit? So hopefully that will work for some of you who are wanting that. Okay, before we pan down and start working on the projects, I wanted to just share a couple of things that are happening just as reminders. For the month of September, we have the buy 3, get 1 free designer series paper. So don't forget that. That's going to end on September 30th. That's a select amount of papers from the annual catalog. So not from the holiday catalog, but you can go to toocoolstamping.com for a complete list. And also, I wanted to remind you that Paper Pumpkin it's so much fun. I swear it's getting better and better. I love the new Halloween projects. I just blogged about them this week, and this was the September kit for Paper Pumpkin, and it was so cute. You get 10 of this style that says Toxic Treats, and then you also get 10 of this style that says Bon Appetit, and that's the name of the kit. Anyway, usually Paper Pumpkin, you know, you don't know what's in it, and then you get it and you enjoy making it. Sometimes they have past kits that become available to current subscribers. So if you are already a subscriber of Paper Pumpkin, you can actually get the Bon Appetit kit or the refill kit for these cute little boxes. And so if you want to learn more about that, go to toocoolstamping.com. Just a couple of days ago, September 24th, I think, I had information about that. So you can find that out there. If you are not a current Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you can become one, and then you can still have a chance to have to get those kits. So they're only available to current Paper Pumpkin subscribers, but it's kind of fun to get a kit that you already know is awesome. So check that out. Also, I wanted to just let you know that the Winter Wonders kits will be coming for Paper Pumpkin. So October, there's going to be 2 kits that coordinate together, October and November. And I know this is probably backwards, but we have the October kit here, and it's going to have all cards. And then the November kit is going to have all tags. And they're going to coordinate. So whatever stamp sets you get in each kit will go together. And I don't know this for sure, but they have been coordinating with annual catalog, or like in the case of the Halloween, the Bon Appetit, it actually is coordinating with the Monster Bash sets in the holiday catalog. So I love how they're not just all-inclusive kits that are one-offs. They all coordinate with other things that you might already have. So I love, love, love coordination. That's one of my favorite things about Stampin' Up! And hopefully you will subscribe to Paper Pumpkin so you can get that October and November kit. To get the October kit, you have until the 10th of the month. You always have until the 10th of the month to get the current month's kit. So you'll have until the 10th of October to get the October kit, and then the 10th of November to get the November kit. So be sure to sign up for that. Again, you can go to 2coolstamping.com, look along the side, and I have a Paper Pumpkin link that you can get more information. Okay, let's get on with our projects because they're so awesome. I cannot wait. So hold on a second. We're going to turn the camera around. And get this in our spot here. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the Gather Together stamp set. And then it also has some coordinating dies that go with it. And these are called the Gathered Leaves dies. And then in the suite, which is called Come to Gather, you'll also have the, what's it called? The Come to Gather Designer Series paper. I love this paper. I was mentioning how I love the color combination, the pretty peacock. It's so on trend. I just was looking at some home decor for the holidays, and this color, along with this pretty Mary Merlot and Cajun Craze, those are all very trendy when you're going out shopping. I love that Stampin' Up! Is right on trend with all the home decor and fashion colors for the season. So here's one side, and it's just some really pretty patterns. And then you also have, well, let's just flip it this way because I don't have full pieces here. There's some pretty pieces, pretty patterns on the back as well. I love this gingham. I could use that on every single project. I just think it's phenomenal. I love those dots on kind of a linen background. So some really pretty patterns. So we'll be using a lot of that today with our projects. All right, let's get started. Oh, let me put this in the camera too. If you place an order, I'll have two host codes now that you can choose from. But if you have a $75 order anytime in September and use the host code that I have listed here, you're going to get the Pretty Peacock reversible ribbon. It's Old Olive and Pretty Peacock, so that is awesome. And then I also, like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to have a class kit that's all about this live class that I'm doing right now. So if you want to jot this down, if you're interested in receiving all of the cards, that the supplies to make all the cards that we're doing today, you just need a $50 order, and you can use this host code, and you can just go to 2coolstamping.com, and there is a shop now link there. So there's two different host codes that'll be good. This one's only good through the end. Actually, they're both good through the end of September, but this is just a week-long one, and again, it's just for the class kit. So I'll bring this up at the end, so if you like what we're making today, you can make sure that you place an order and get the supplies. All right, let's go ahead and start making our awesome project. I'm going to start with my favorite one first, because why not? So we're going to start with Mary Merlot, just a standard card base, 5.5 by 8.5, and I'll just fold that in half, give it a good crease with my bone folder, and then I have a 2-inch by 5.5-inch piece of the Come Together Designer Series paper, and I'm going to add that right to the side here. I am loving Mary Merlot with Cajun Craze for fall. That is just so pretty. And I cannot stand just a little bit of extra here. Pardon me and my OCD. I'm sure some of you have that too, but I have to have that flush. All right, next, I'm going to my background layer. I have Very Vanilla, and I used the rectangle, the stitched rectangle dies. These are must-have. If you don't have this in your collection, you totally need to get these because they are so versatile. You can use them on all kinds of cards. So I have a die cut here, and I used the second to largest die. So you can see that stitched edge on there. And then what I did, I wanted kind of a fun texture to this background. I wasn't going to be stamping on it. So I used the Pine Wood Planks 3D texture folder and ran it through my die cutting machine and got this pretty piece. So I love that it has the stitched edge as well as the texture. So we're just going to pop this up for a background. So I'll put some dimensionals on here. Have you guys started making cards for fall yet? It seems like we just barely get into summer and all of a sudden it's fall, but I really love fall. It's my favorite time of year. So when the leaves start turning, and it's just, we had a couple of cool days here in Indiana, but now it's going to be 85 again today, so a little bit of an Indian summer happening. All right, I'm going to put this right in the center here for a nice background, and I'm going to crease this really well so it lays flat because it keeps popping up on me. Okay, there's our background. Next, I'm going to add a little piece of, this is going to be where our sentiment is, and it's 1.5 by, I'm thinking, oh, it's 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. So I give you the wrong measurement. 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. We're going to just add a little sentiment onto that. So let me get my sentiment. There's the thing I like about this stamp set. I love when they have images, focal point images, some background images, some focal point sentiments, as well as some inside the card sentiments. So this has it all, and I also love that it's fall. You can use the pumpkins for Halloween, you can use them for Thanksgiving, you can use the leaves and the wheat for any kind of fall card, birthday or whatever you are wanting. So I'm going to start with Mary Merlot ink and the Season of Thanks. Oh, let me get my piercing mat. I always like to have a piercing mat underneath so that I have a nice, print there, a nice stamped image there. Okay, and then we're going to add that to our background with some snail. And I'm going to make that live about right here. All right, now we're going to add some leaves. This is one of my favorite parts of this bundle. Not only do you have the stamped image that you can cut out with the framelit, but there's some other dies in here that not only cut, but they also emboss. So I'm going to start by stamping the pretty leaf. Love this maple leaf, and we're going to stamp it in the new Delicata Metallic Ink. So this one's called Celestial Copper. I am loving these new metallic inks. They are so much better than the previous inks that Stampin' Up! Carried. These are really, they really stamp very well, and they also dry really nicely so that they are not going to smear. Some of the old inks, sometimes they never dried. And they also, look at how beautiful that image is. Very pretty. So that's the copper on the Mary Merlot. And you would run this through with your die and cut that out. And I've already done that so I can save some time. So I have this really pretty leaf, and I'm going to have that as one of my focal points here. The other thing I did was I took some Cajun Craze and I used this pretty emboss lit type of a die. So it not only cut it, but it also made that pretty, can you see that embossed texture? And the other thing I found is when it's making that texture, it's pressing the cardstock in, and it actually makes the insides of the veining kind of darker. I don't know if that's showing up on the camera, but it's almost like I inked the embossing folder part, or the, not folder, but embossing part of it. But I didn't. It's just the way it's kind of smashed down, and so it gives kind of an illusion of having the inside having some ink on it. So I love that. Then I use another one of those actually the smaller one, also to cut and have some embossing on there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So can you see how that just comes together, and it's so effortless, and it's going to look beautiful. So let's add, I'm going to close up my ink pad before I get my fingers in it. I'm going to add my leaf. I think it's going to be about right here. So I'm going to put some snail on it and maybe one dimensional up here. Actually, that's not true. It's not on a, sorry. I forgot how many layers I was having. All right, so we're going to make this go right about, let's make it go right here. And we're going to add our leaf, our smaller maple leaf, and we'll put that one right there, and then we'll top it off with this pretty copper foil leaf, and just going to add that right there. Okay, and then to finish it off, we're going to add just a little bit of bling and also some ribbon. So another part of this suite is this beautiful ribbon combination. It all comes together. You get 5 yards of each, and it's called the Come Together Ribbon Combo Pack. I love this ribbon right here. We're not using this today, but this is so pretty. There's like a texture to the middle and satin on the edge, and I love the way it has that shimmer. And I think it's crumb cake. It might be gray granite. I'm not sure. And this one is just some Cajun Craze linen thread. So I'm going to double that up, and I'm going to put this on this card. Make a little bow out of it. See if I cut enough. Barely. I just barely cut enough. We'll make a small bow. All right, so we'll just add that with a little glue dot. So we'll just put that right on top of our glue dot. And then if you read my blog, you might notice that I say a pinched glue dot, and what I mean by that is I pinch that together so that it's all behind the knot in that little bow, so that there's not as much glue dot exposed. So if you ever hear me say pinched glue dot, that's what I mean. We'll add that little bow there. Oh, that's so cute. It needs just a little bit of bling, and I cannot wait, because I'm going to give you a little tip, but next month our free thank you gift with host code is going to be these holiday rhinestones, because I love these. I am like using these on every single project, because they have like a night of navy, a pool party, a shaded spruce, maybe it's Mary Merlot or cherry cobbler, and then kind of a mango melody. All of these colors are just perfect for the holidays. They match just about everything that's in the holiday catalog. And they're also very versatile, because you can either use them with night or navy or blueberry bushel. You can use this with mint macaron or pool party. This shaded spruce could even go with garden green. Like I said, this is Mary Merlot or cherry cobbler. This can be kind of, these almost like gold, these mango melody, or you could have it be a crushed curry. So there's a lot of versatility here. And like I said, it matches everything in the holiday catalog. So I am finding that I am using them all of the time. I just absolutely adore this set of rhinestones. And I hope that they keep them, and then when they have the new annual catalog, we're going to hope that they stick around, because they're just so, so pretty. So I'm going to use the Mary Merlot, the Mango Melody, and also another little Mary Merlot one. We'll put that down here. Just adds just a little touch of sparkle along with that copper shine. So there is our first card. I hope you really enjoyed that one. I had so much fun designing that, and I really love the way it turned out. In fact, I'm going to really quickly show you another version, another Too Cool version with the pretty peacock coloring. so I'm going to, let's see. I have the other sentiment, and I'm going to stamp that. This is actually, this one was the crumb cake. I'm going to be using Sahara sand for this one. I'm going to use the other sentiment. So we'll stamp that. I already have the background with the pretty peacock card base. We used another pattern of pretty peacock in the background there. So we'll add this across the front. This time I have the pretty peacock with the silver Delicata ink. So I am just loving that metallic ink. Looks so beautiful. We have a mint macaron embossed maple leaf. And then this time I used the champagne foil for the small leaf. So you can see how quickly that comes together. And then for the bow, I'm just using the braided trim. The braided trim is so awesome. This is another staple for your stamp room for sure. Get that out of the way of my sentiment so it still shows up. So I put that on with the glue dot, and then I'm going to add in a couple more pieces, a couple more rhinestones from the holiday rhinestones. And again, see this? It's actually shaded spruce, but you can actually pretty much is close to the pretty peacock. So not too bad. It all kind of picks up whatever it's by. And then this is very close to the mint macaron. So there is our second version with kind of a silvery, cooler color combination. So I show you those side by side. Love it. Tell me what you think. Tell me which color combination that you like the best. All right, let's go on to our next card. This time we're going to use some different designer series paper. We're going to start with Pool Party for our cardstock. I forgot to score down the center, and I'm telling you what, when you are used to scoring your paper and then all of a sudden you don't score your paper, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can get a good crease on that. You get kind of spoiled. It's funny. Do you guys score your paper? I highly recommend it. It always just has such a nice fold when you do. Okay, so we're using a different color of the designer series paper from the Come Together DSP. This is, I forgot to write my measurements down, so let's see. It's 3 by 4. Let me make sure. No, 2 3/4 by 4. And we're going to add it. I almost hate to use that side because the gingham is on this side, and I love the gingham so much. So we're adding that to a Whisper White matte, and that is 3 by 4 1/4. And we're going to do a horizontal one this time. We have some of that gingham, so we're using the other side. We're going to put that along the bottom. This one is 1 1/4 by 5 1/2. So we'll put this right across the bottom here. All right, and then before we put that down as the background, I'm going to put some ribbon. Oh, did I lose it? I have some ribbon. Oh, I hate when I can't find things. Oh, it makes me so sad. I know I probably dropped it. It kept getting away from me. All right, well, we're gonna have to do it without the ribbon because it was the last piece of the pretty peacock ribbon that I had. So we're gonna do it without it. Oh, that makes me so sad. I surely don't see it. Oh, well, okay. So we won't do that, but we'll continue on. We're going to use our Ornate Frames. Remember, I've been talking about that almost every time that we have a live. I use some kind of an ornate frame. It's in the Halloween section. It's in the Monster Bash suite, but it is a must-have, and I really, really hope that they have that in the annual catalog because it is so, so pretty. So I am going to use my Pretty Peacock ink again. We're going to stamp with that Gather Together. Just going to stamp on one side of this die cut. Oh, it's just so sad I can't find that one little piece. I'm still looking, still looking. No. Oh well. Okay. So this is going to be popped up. What I would have done is put a little bit of this really pretty ribbon. That's the Pretty Peacock ribbon. I would put that right across the front and then secure the ends on the back, and then add a sentiment over the top of that. I have a finished one so you can see it when I'm done. You can see what it's supposed to look like. So let's put that right here. Then we're going to add some of those same leaves. Now I still have that Delicata ink on there, and I haven't tried. I've been using a Stampin' Scrub to get that off. I just haven't tried the Simply Chamois just because it wasn't right there with me. So I thought I'll try it here and see if that gets it off really well. And it does. So that's really, you probably would need to wash this off so that because I see that it's coming right back off. So I wanted to kind of test and see how that worked. But it does clean your stamp up really well, but you'll definitely want to wash that out of your Simply Chamois before you are using it on other stamps, to clean other stamps. And I don't know if I shared with the tip with you before, but if you just cut your chamois into a quarter sheet, it's very easy to work with. And I just saved some of my old, this is a baker's twine package, and I just keep it in there to keep it nice and ready to go, keep it damp. So, okay, now we're going to stamp with that maple leaf onto our pool party. So it's pool party on pool party. Remember to use that piercing mat underneath because the photopolymer needs a little bit of extra cushion on there. Again, you would run that through with your die. So whatever die cutting machine, you would run that through. And you would have your die cut left over here. So let's add this to our card base, and then we'll start adding our leaves onto it. I love these colors as well. That pool party is so soft, and with the Pretty Peacock, it's just a really lovely fall color combination. Okay, for this one, we are going to pop up the leaf just a little bit. So I'm going to add a couple of dimensionals behind here. So I'm going to put this about right here. So all of these outer parts of the leaf will need to be popped up, and then the rest of it we can use a little bit of snail. So there's our first leaf. We have another one here, that smaller leaf. This is in Pear Pizzazz, and I'm going to add that. Whoops! Oh, I bent the stem a little bit. That's okay. We'll add that right on the top here. Let's go like that. And then we'll finish up with a little bit of baker's twine, the white baker's twine. So a little bow, just like we did with the Come Together Cajun Craze linen thread. And again, another pinched glue dot. So stick it right on the glue dot, pinch it, kind of get it behind that knot, and then add it to your card. And then I'm going to use that same pack of, I think I'll use the medium size. There's 3 sizes of these holiday rhinestones. You get mostly the smaller, and then you get 2 rows of a medium size and 2 rows of a large size. So lots of variety there. So this is the second card, and let me show you what it should have looked like with that one little piece of ribbon that I could not find. It just gives a little bit of dark color, and I like the way that kind of pops. So you can see that it's just a little bit different. And then I wanted to show you my other version, and that is with the pretty peacock as your card base. I used a different pumpkin pattern for the background. I used the mint macaron textile ribbon, one of my favorites because it's so shimmery and shiny. And then I also, instead of stamping onto the pretty peacock, actually just die cut that maple leaf and then ran it through my die cutting machine with the subtle 3D texture folder. And then this is in Sahara sand, and then I just put one little holiday rhinestone on that one. So those are your 2 cool versions of that one. And then I have one more that I wanted to share with you today. And this one also begins with the Merry Merlot as a card base, 5.5 by 8.5. I scored this one, so I feel better. It's going to have a nice crease on it. And then we're going to add, let's see, this is a 1.5 by 5.5 piece of the Come Together Designer Series paper. We're going to add that across the bottom. So you can see there's so many different patterns of the paper that it's just fun to mix and match, I think. And everything comes together with that color combination, so it just looks so pretty. Next we're going to use, let's see, this one is 2 inches by 4.25. And I love this pattern. This one's so pretty. And this one we're going to just add right along the side here. And then I have a little 1 inch, let me see how wide this is, 1 by 4.5. This is Early Espresso. And look at this texture that I have on here. I haven't really used this much yet, but it's called Hammered. It's the Hammered texture folder. So it's kind of like hammered metal. And I just love it because not only if you used it on the foil papers, it would have the look of hammered metal, but it also has such a cool texture that it's great for like animal cards, you know, if you want like a reptile looking skin for the dino roar, or a giraffe looking skin for the, I can't remember the name of it, the one that has the giraffe with the tied up neck that I thought was so cute. Anyway, there's lots of different ways that you could use this texture. It kind of looks like a cobblestone road, so you could kind of use it in that way. So lots of fun ways to use this texture. And even the back side of it is, that's actually the hammered part of it. When you're hammering, you're going to get that side, but I'm going to use, actually let's use that side. I haven't used that side yet. So we're going to add that. And we're just going to add that right across the middle here as a little base. I do like that side, the hammered. It's like the debossed side, but it's really the true side that it's named after. All right, next we have a Stitched Shapes oval in Whisper White. I think it's the largest oval. We're going to stamp a little bit of texture on there. So I'm going to use some, what am I using? Gray granite. And I'm just going to stamp a little of the speckled texture a few times on that oval. Then we are going to, let's just add that to our card base first with some dimensionals. And then we'll get into the focal point. And this time we're going to go with some pumpkins. We've done a lot of leaves, so we need to have some pumpkins. So here is our base. Now let's stamp some of the cute pumpkins. So these are going to be in early espresso. We're going to stamp the large one, and then also the pair of smaller pumpkins. So I already went, there's actually the framelits, don't forget. And you'll notice that there's actually 2 of the small pair of pumpkins. So you can do lots of those and you can run them through together. So I love when they have duplicate dies. It makes it very, very fast. So I already ran some through here. And then I'm going to color them in with some Stampin' Blends. So I'm using the, let's see, we don't have any Mary Merlot, excuse me. So I'm going to use the Cherry Cobbler, and I'm using the light first. I'm using the brush tip end just so I can get really good coverage quickly. And then you can add a little bit of shading with the darker. And I'm just going to put just a little bit of darker right on the edges here. Maybe just a touch feathered out. And maybe a little at the bottom. And then you can always use your bullet tip end of the light version to kind of blend those into the lighter. Okay, so there it is. Oh, we'll color all the stems with the light soft suede. So we'll get those colored in. And then we'll try, let's see, how about pumpkin pie for the smaller one here. So I'm using the light again. And a little bit of shading. And you might want to blend that out, but for time's sake, I'm just going to move on to the one in the back. And this one is Cajun Craze Light. So a little bit darker pumpkin. And then Cajun Craze Dark to add a little shading. Okay. So here are our pumpkins. I'm loving how that's looking. So, so pretty. Let's put a sentiment on before we put the pumpkins on. We're going to use this long Wishing You Well sentiment with the early espresso. And I'm just stamping it onto a 5/8 inch wide strip of Cajun Craze. And I just kind of wanted to, I just got a strip, I wanted to see how long I wanted it. So I think I'm just going to cut this off just a little bit. I'm going to flag the ends, fishtail the ends up the center, corner to center, corner to center. And then we'll just add that with some snail right across the middle here. And then we're going to pop those pumpkins up. Pop up this one. Put that one right here. And then the smaller ones. Maybe a little bit of snail. We're gonna, whoops. I'm gonna overlap just a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to finish up again with some of that Cajun Craze linen thread, doubled up again. Gonna get a little bit longer piece this time so I don't run out. So if you just tie both of them at the same time, it works pretty well. Okay, cut off the ends here, and then we'll use a pinched glue dot again. Let's see, let's put that right on here, on the big pumpkin. And of course, we have to add a few of our holiday rhinestones. So I'm just going to add a couple right here to match. You see how they just go with everything? They just are perfect. Perfect for fall, perfect for Christmas. It's a must-have for your stamp room. So how do you like it? So this is our pumpkin version, and I actually got this card layout from a swap card that I received. This one is from Amy's Story, and I've already blogged about it actually. I just loved her version. Her version used some designer series paper going in different directions here. She did use that hammered metal on the side, and she also used some of the other ribbon that comes in that combo pack. She added some leaves at the bottom and some really pretty coloring on her pumpkins with the pretty peacock and mint macaron. So very similar, but I wanted to try out her style a little bit because I just really, really loved her cards. So those are our cards today. I hope you guys had fun with this really pretty fall suite come together. And I know I had a lot of fun making them. I just love the fall season. So it's always fun to make fall cards. So as I mentioned at the beginning of our class, I am offering for the first time ever and by request, if you're interested in the card supplies to make these cards, everything will be already pre-cut, die cut. All you have to do is stamp and assemble and use your own adhesives and inks, and I'll have everything packaged up for you. All you need to do is purchase anything you want from my stamp store. So you can go to toocoolstamping.com, click on the Shop Now link. You just need a $50 order by the end of September, and you must use this host code GQTEVN9E. And when you use that host code, anytime between now and September 30th, I will send this class kit to you for free. So you'll have all the supplies to make it. You just need, if you want to place an order for the stamp set or the bundle, if you purchase the stamps and dies together, you actually get 10% off. So definitely check that out. It's just $38.50 for the bundle. If you add in some ribbon, it's going to get you up to a $50 order, so you can get this combo ribbon, and that's really pretty. You can get the hammered texture and impressions folder. You can get some of the Delicata inks. Anything you want. You don't have to get any of that. Just get what you want for $50, and if you use this code, I'll send you that card kit. So this is kind of a trial run, see if anybody's really interested in that. If you guys like that idea, then we'll start doing a little bit more of that. I'll have some more live class kits available for purchase after our live class. So let me know if you like that idea, and hopefully I'll have some people that are interested. And remember, I have the other host code. There's two different host codes. This one is for the pretty peacock ribbon, and you do need a $75 order for that one. So this one is actually a really great deal, only a $50 order, and I send you everything you need to make it. So that's it for this week. I hope you guys had a great time. I love these cards. I hope you do too, and I hope you have a great week. Gosh, next week it's gonna be October already. I'll tell you more about a stamping expo that I'm gonna be involved with in Fort Wayne next week. So actually, now that I think about it, I'm going to need to change my live because I am going to be working at that stamping expo. So I'm just going to give you a heads up that the time is going to change for next week, but I will make sure that we have a live at some point, because I want to show you some of the things that I'm doing for that particular show here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Okay, everybody, you guys have a great week. Thanks so much for joining me and taking time out of your busy day. And I will see you next week at 9 a.m. Not at 9 a.m. I just said we're going to reschedule. I'm going to see you next week, and I'm going to tell you what time at a later time. Anyway, this is Angie with Too Cool Stamping. Take care. Bye-bye.